Welcome, Alyssa here. I hope to environmentally geek out in next week's video. This week I'm moving to another apartment and I received some requests for details about what one should know when getting their first apartment. It was suggested I make this video to share what I know from the 7 years of living in apartments. Location. How close will your apartment be to your job, school, and family? This will determine your gas budget. No car? Where's the next bus stop? Weather conditions. Weather conditions are also something to think about. Does the area flood? How soon will you be plowed out during and after a blizzard? Roommates. Do you want them? Pros and cons to having them. Pro would be to have someone to share the cost of paying rent and utility bills. Cons will be living with someone who may not be reliable, can't stand your lifestyle or habits. Lack of privacy. What is a cosigner? A cosigner is someone who has good credit and agrees to be held financially responsible if you are unable to make the rent payment. Cosigners must also fill out the apartment application, so keep that in mind. Do you need one? Renter's insurance. This is a policy to ensure property under certain values will be reimbursed upon damage due to fire, theft, and vandalism. Does your future landlord require you to have this? Sometimes your car insurance company can also offer renter's insurance. Mine did. Might get a discount. Choosing the right apartment qualities. Research and read the bad reviews online. Check out a few different websites for the same location. This will allow you to know what the management will be like. Does management take long to fix requested repairs? How safe is the apartment vicinity? Are there security cameras? Is there a record of frequent fires, shootings, thievery, vandalism? I'm personally not a fan of gas stove apartments since they have a higher chance of fires during the winters. What floor will your apartment be? First floors are tricky in my opinion. Higher chance of insects, mice, black mold, and easier to break in. I'm not a fan of any of those. Black mold is very serious and deadly dangerous. Your new white, freshly painted apartment may cover the appearance, but beneath that paint and on the wood can behold this deadly monster that thrives in mildewy, humid weather. Check YouTube video I have listed in the description below for more. The middle floor has tenants below you and above you, so be conscious of how you stomp around. Not a concern if you learn the apartment is built with soundproofing between floors and walls. Top floor. It's a pain to get your heavy furniture up all the flights of stairs, but it has the perk of lower heating bills since the heat rises. Likely your neighbors below you will be turning on their heaters to avoid winter's chill. What type of heating and cooling does your apartment provide? Is it electric, gas, central air, air conditioner? Is the apartment airtight? If heat or cool air easily escapes through gaps in the window or doors, then your heating and cooling units work harder. You'll pay more. If you are able to seal air leakage, good. To minimize electric bills, try to have your heat at a low setting during the winter and your AC or central air at a higher setting during the summer. I like 60 degrees in the winter and constant 77 degrees during the summer weather. And don't forget this important tip. Best to leave your thermostat AC on constantly rather than turning it on or off, whether you're home or not during the summer. I used to go the entire winter without using the heat, so I would reduce the gas bill. I would rather wear more clothing and huddle in blankets. I would use an electric blanket to go with my bed blankets, and all of this changed once I got my pet rabbits a few years ago. Okay, so this brings me to my next point. Will you be bringing pets? This will greatly affect your budget range. Places that allow pets usually cost more or have extra fees. Are you bringing a cat or a dog? How big is it? Some places are picky. Not a cat or a dog? Will the apartment complex you are interested in living allow you to have your exotic pet? Will they charge you? Some places didn't charge me for having my pet rabbits, but others thought differently. I once lived somewhere that the lease only said cat or dog, but when I asked about my rabbits, they said there would be the same fee charges. So for 2 dwarf rabbits, $750 for them for 1 year. That's $250 security deposit for each pet and $250 non-refundable fee in case there's damage. So I'm not getting that $250 back. Did the math, and I decided no. But I was daring. So I asked this bold question. I said, if I had a pet tarantula, would I still have to pay this $500? $250 for the security deposit, $250 for the non-refundable damages cost? They said yes. Yeah, your goldfish. I don't know, cricket? They were being difficult with me. That's my suspicions. But anyways, just be careful. Ask the questions. You know, don't be afraid to ask. This is the place you're gonna be living in. I decided for that place to leave my rabbits with my boyfriend for that year, and thank you, Alex, for doing that, rather than pay that additional cost. So, where will the sunlight hit your apartment? This determines how much natural light you can use without needing to pay for the electricity used for your lights during the day. How much sunlight your plants may get if you have an indoor or outdoor patio garden. If you get a lot of light that touches your windows, you may have to get thicker curtains to keep the heat out during the summer weather. Do you have a washer dryer in the apartment? If it's not in the apartment, is it on the bottom floor of the building? What payment method do you have to do if it's not in your apartment? Do you have to empty your piggy bank for your loose change? Or will they give you a fancy laundry card that you have to inconveniently try to add money to in a different building, or you don't have enough change on the card? When it's not in the apartment, it was inconvenient for me because I didn't want to spend a lot of money washing laundry for just a couple pieces of clothing. So I oftentimes would stack tons of clothing just so I could make sure I filled a load of washer, and then would double it all up in the dryer so I'd save more money. Parking. Where do you park your car? Do you have a parking space? Can visitors park easily, or do they need a pass? This is very inconvenient to have a house warming party if anyone who parks near your apartment will be towed away immediately if they don't have a parking pass. And yes, I know somebody who was towed literally in 1 week twice. Needless to say, this person hardly ever visits me anymore. I tried to warn them to park where they need to park, where they wouldn't get towed, but you know, things happen. So, hopefully your friend still talks to you. Don't forget to take pictures of the apartment during your move-in day. Every crack, dent, damp, broken, or missing thing needs to be documented, both on paper and through dated photographs with a camera. Keep the photos for your entire lease until you receive your security deposit back. This will help in case landlords decide to charge you for damages that were already there upon moving in. Get everything in writing. Your word against mine doesn't fly well in court. Documentation, documentation, documentation. Verbal versus documentation. Documentation pictures win. If you inform your landlord verbally, try to follow up with an email stating the same things discussed and verified. Copy a family member or friend before you send the email for added backup. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any tips, please feel free to add them in the comments. Thank you for watching.